Hi guys, so I think it's very important to remember that it wasn't just celebrities and politicians who were pleading with the British public to vote to remain in the European Union, but it was also business leaders and community leaders, because a lot of these regions that are impoverished have depended upon European cash in order to help them get by. Now, Brexiteers at the time said, don't worry, when the money is cut off from Europe, the UK Exchequer will pick up the tab. They will make up the difference. And, well, that hasn't happened yet. And I don't think it's actually going to ever happen. Now, you're going to hear from a community leader, business leader. He told people at the time, we need to remain in the European Union. And he's saying now that, well, his community is still waiting for the money that central government promised.
That, of course, you've had the pandemic. As we begin to open up, are you optimistic that things will improve?
I think Cornwall's had a long track record of being very entrepreneurial, very innovative, and a lot of people, as we saw in the film, have started their own business during the pandemic. But I think everybody in Cornwall, whether they're working for one of our world-class hotels or running a thriving renewable energy business or starting their own software business, whatever it might be, knows that very near to them is this sort of problem going on. And it's something that's pretty shocking after 21 years of EU funding that we've still got those levels of poverty and poor housing here. But
can Cornwall survive without that EU funding?
Well, the government have promised that they will match that in the vote for the referendum. I mean, it was made clear that we would see the same amount of money from the UK government. So we're still waiting for that here. But we are.
You can see the expression on his face that he was about to laugh, because he understands that the UK government said, yes, don't worry, vote for Brexit. Any funding that is cut off, we will refund it. And they're still waiting. Cornwall is still waiting for that funding. And I don't think they're actually ever going to receive that funding. Now, how did Cornwall vote in the 2016 referendum? Well, Cornwall voted 56.5% to leave, 43.5% to remain. So, Cornwall, which receives a significant amount of money from the European Union, decided, no, we want to leave. How much money? Well, this is from Cornwall for Europe. I leave a link in the description. It says here, Cornwall has received over 1 billion euros from the European Union since the year 2000, which has helped fund jobs, local businesses, infrastructure, training, and research. And here we have a list of all the different recipients of EU funding. And you can find a link here in the description as well. But once again, and I said this on numerous occasions, politicians will invest in areas to win votes. The European Union invest in areas to lift them out of poverty. Money from the European Union goes to areas that are deprived, that need that money. Politicians will invest where they think that can help them win power. And going forward, it seems that Cornwall is going to be abandoned unless it is able to fight its corner, because the Tories are not going to replace the European Union funding. Or if they do, it will be at a much smaller scale. And different parts of the country are going to have to compete in order to gain access to whatever funding is going to be put in place to replace the lost EU funding. It's quite sad that, you had people like this man who had spoke to people before the referendum saying we need to vote to remain in the European Union. And then now Cornwall is struggling, even as he said, after many years of EU funding. Now, I know the Brexiteers will respond by saying, well, see, the EU funding didn't make any difference. No, the situation would have been much, much worse if the EU funding hadn't been spent in Cornwall. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.